Good morning, friends. Welcome to the channel GK Key for Exam. So today we will discuss about May month current affairs, in which we will discuss about POSH Act, the India's SEO Summit, the Washington Declaration, new director of CBI, Quad members, and many more. In this video, we will also discuss about 100 GK questions. So let's start with today's video. The first one is the POSH Act. A recent investigation done by a government committee headed by MC Maricom to look into allegations against the president of Wrestling Federation of India revealed that more than half of India's 30 national federations don't have any internal complaints committee, which is a legal requirement under the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act 2013. The POSH Act is a legislation enacted by the Government of India in 2013 to address the issue of sexual harassment faced by women in the workplace. The Act aims to create a safe and conducive work environment for women and provide protection against sexual harassment. The POSH Act defines sexual harassment to include unwelcome acts such as physical contact and sexual advances, a demand or request for sexual favor, making sexually colored remarks, showing pornography, and any other unwelcome physical, verbal, or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. The Supreme Court, in a landmark judgment in the Vishaka and others with the state of Rajasthan 1997 case, gave Vishaka guidelines. These guidelines formed the basis for the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013. The Internal Complaints Committee employers are required to constitute an internal complaint committee at each workplace with 10 or more employees to receive and address complaints of sexual harassment. The Complaints Committee have the powers of civil court for gathering evidence. So this was the POSH Act. Let's move to the next line. Washington Declaration. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol visited the United States on April 25th to celebrate the 70th anniversary of United States-South Korean bilateral relations. During the visit, the two countries signed the Washington Declaration, which focuses on nuclear deterrence strategy. As per the agreement, an American nuclear ballistic submarine would be deployed in the Korean Peninsula. A nuclear consultative group would be formed to formulate principles of joint response tactics. South Korea would receive intel from the United States regarding nuclear advancements. US will strengthen South Korea's nuclear deterrence capabilities through joint military training programs and an annual intergovernmental simulation. It reaffirmed the Non-Proliferation Treaty. South Korea would not venture into the creation of its own independent nuclear capabilities. It would instead focus on deterrence measures through an alliance-based approach. So this was about the Washington Declaration. Let's move to the next topic. The next topic is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization members adopted proposal on digital public infrastructure. The intergovernmental body Shanghai Cooperation Organization members have unanimously adopted India's proposal for developing digital public infrastructure. The proposal includes platforms such as Aadhaar United Payments Interference and DigiLocker. The digital public infrastructure refers to blocks of platforms such as digital identification, payment infrastructure, and data exchange solutions that help countries deliver essential services to their people, empowering citizens and improving lives by enabling digital inclusion. Benefits of digital public infrastructure. A. Promotion of economic activities and support to inclusive growth. B. To address common challenges as outlined in the Sustainable Development Goals. C. Efficient service delivery. And D. Support during COVID-19 crisis. The SCO members meeting was held in Delhi in 2023. So let's move to the next slide. The next topic is Quad Summit 2023. Prime Minister of Australia, Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister of Japan, and President of the United States of America met for the third in person Quad Leader Summit. This summit was hosted by Prime Minister Albanese, Australia, on the sidelines of the ongoing G7 summit in Hiroshima. Key highlights of the Quad Summit 2023 were: A. The leaders issued a joint vision statement titled Enduring Partners for Indo-Pacific. B. They also issued three other statements setting out Quad principles on clean energy, supply chains, cybersecurity and secure software, and critical and emerging technology standards. C. The Quad International Standards Cooperation Network and the Quad Principles on Critical and Emerging Technology Standards were released. D. Explicitly expressed their deep concern over the Ukraine war. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that the next Quad leaders meeting would be held in India in 2024. Now, let's begin with the 100 GK questions. Now, let's begin with the 100 GK questions. So, the first one is according to Niti Aayog's annual State Health Index 5th edition for the COVID year of 2020-21, the three southern states of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Telangana emerged as the top performers among the larger states. Second, the Ministry of Home Affairs announced that it has finalized the preparation of Model Prisons Act 2023. The act will replace the current 130-year-old law, Prisons Act 1894. Third, the Union Ministry of Women and Child Development launched the center's flagship program Poshan Bhi Padhai Bhi, which will focus on early childhood care and education at Anganwadis across the country. Fourth, the Commission for Scientific and Technical Terminology is aiming to create technical and scientific terminology in 10th Indian languages unrepresented in the learning landscape. Fifth, the Union Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry has extended the deadline of its Smart Cities mission from June this year to June 2024. Sixth, Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, a central public sector enterprises of Ministry of Railways, have been granted Navratan status. Seventh, members of the Kon tribe in the Odisha's Nayagarh district have added one more event to the calendar of festivals and celebrations called Bihan Mela, literally the seed festival. The event is participated by farmers from as many as 40 villages. 8. The Reserve Bank of India's gold reserves touched 794.64 metric tons in fiscal 2023, an increase in nearly 5% over fiscal 2022 when it held 760.42 metric tons of gold. Ninth, investors from 21 countries, including US, UK, France, Australia, Japan, have been exempted from the levy of angel tax for investment in unlisted Indian startups. 10th, the Ministry of Civil Aviation has launched Udan 5.1 to further enhance the connectivity to remote areas of the country and achieve last mile connectivity through helicopters. 11th, Union Cabinet recently approved an updated production-linked incentive scheme for IT hardware manufacturing with the total budgetary outlay increased to 17,000 crore. 12th, Unified Payment Interference (UPI) transactions are exempted to continue growing, steadily reaching a remarkable milestone of 1 billion transactions per day by 2026-27. This projection was made in the recently released report by PwC India titled The Indian Payments Handbook 2022-27. 13th, Ajit Kumar Mohanty, who is a well-known physicist and also serves as the director of the Bhava Atomic Research Center, has been selected as the new chairman. 14th, Capital Markets Regulator SEBI has introduced legal entity identifier system for issuers that have listed or are planning to list non-convertible securities securitized debts instrument and security receipts. 15th, the Finance Ministry has clarified that payments using international debit or credit cards up to rupees 7 lakh per financial year will be excluded from the liberalized remittance scheme limits and therefore will not attract any tax collected at source. 16th, the Tamil Nadu government recently told the Supreme Court that act of missionaries to spread Christianity cannot be considered illegal as the Constitution under Article 25 guarantees every citizen the right to propagate his religion. 17th, Congress leader Siddaramaiah was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Karnataka with D.K. Shiv Kumar taking oath as his deputy. 18th, the Chief Justice of India recently denied permission for forum shopping. Forum shopping is a litigant appearing before him. When litigants or lawyers deliberately try to move the case to a particular judge or court, expecting that this would turn the judgment in their favor, it is called forum shopping. 19th, the Supreme Court recently upheld the 2017 amendments made by the Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Maharashtra government to the Prevention of Cruelty of Animals Act 1960, which allowing Jallikattu and Kambala and bullock cart racing respectively. 20th, according to the official records, the Prime Minister's Citizens Assistance and Relief in Emergency Situation Fund (PM CARES Fund) received rupees 535.44 crore as foreign donations during the last 3 years. 21st, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has secured a victory in a historic runoff election. This win cements his third term in power. 22nd, King Charles III became the 40th British monarch to be crowned at the Westminster Abbey in London. 23rd, European Parliament has prepared a new draft of the European Union's ambitious Artificial Intelligence Act. The AI Act was drafted with the aim to bringing transparency, trust and accountability to artificial intelligence. 24. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid a state visit to Australia from May 22 to 24 as a guest of the Australian government. During this visit, he held talks with his Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese and attended a community event to celebrate the country's dynamic, diverse Indian diaspora. 25th. To further expand the India-Asian ties, the Raksha Mantri had announced initiative for women in UN peacekeeping operations. 26th, Arab League foreign ministers voted to readmit Syria into the organization after a suspension that lasted over a decade. 27th, the sixth edition of the Indian Ocean Conference was held by the India Foundation in association with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Bangladesh and S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies at Dhaka. 28. The World Bank has unveiled new methodology and improved safeguards for business ready for assessing the business climate in up to 180 countries. 29. The World Health Organization has launched a global network known as International Pathogen Surveillance Network. It has been launched to help swiftly detect the threat from infectious disease like COVID-19 and share the information to prevent their spread. 30th, Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually addressed the 76th World Health Assembly in Geneva. 31st, for the second time in a row, the Global Alliance for National Human Rights Institution has deferred re-accreditation of the National Human Rights Commission of India for a year. 32nd, recently the Dimasa National Liberation Army, an insurgent group operating mostly in Assam's Dima Hasao district, signed a peace agreement with the government. 33rd, the Army has decided that the brigadiers and the above rank officers will have a common uniform from August 1st, irrespective of their parent cadre and appointment. 34th, the Union Finance Ministry has notified changes to the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, widening its ambit to include transactions facilitated by chartered accountants, company secretaries, etc. 35th. The opening ceremony of the inaugural Asian India Maritime Exercise AIME 2023 was held at Changi Naval Base, Singapore. The harbour phase of the exercise was held at Changi Naval Base and the sea phase in the South China Sea. 36. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated the nation's first Indian Air Force Heritage Centre in Chandigarh. The Heritage Centre highlights the Indian Air Force role in the various wars. 37th. India is planning to launch a composite index of its own to measure the effect of heat on its population and produce impact-based heat wave alerts for specific locations. 38. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has organized a meeting of range countries to strengthen conservation efforts for migratory birds and their habitats in Central Asian flyways. 39th. Assam Chief Minister shares picture after successful eviction drive at the Burchakori Wildlife Sanctuary. The anti-encroachment drive is being carried out to free nearly 1892 hectares of land. 40th. A study has found that the sludge found in the Indian sewage treatment plants has high potential to be used as fertilizers. 41st. Goa is concerned about Karnataka's plan to build the Kalasa-Bandura Canal to divert water from the upper reaches of the Mahadevi to the Malprabha Basin. 42nd. The government launched the Meri Life mobile application to empower young people and encourage their participation in tackling climate change. 43rd. According to the new study, with rising global temperatures, melting permafrost is likely to destabilize thousands of industrial sites and associated contaminated areas in the Arctic. 44. WMO released the two reports titled Global Annual to Decadal Climate Update 2023-27 and State of Global Climate 2022. 45th. The World Meteorological Congress has approved a new greenhouse gas monitoring initiative, Global Greenhouse Gas Watch. 46th. On May 22nd, International Day for Biological Diversity is observed annually across the world. 47th. The National Campaign for Updation and Verification of People's Biodiversity Register was launched by the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in Goa. 48. US Food and Drug Administration has approved the world's first respiratory syncytial virus vaccine called Arexvy. 49. India donated propellers of the Antonov AN-32 military transport aircraft to Sri Lanka. 50th. British companies are teaming up to launch a low-cost radar satellite next year called Kurbasar. It is an innovative deployable X-band synthetic aperture radar to provide high-resolution imaging capabilities night and day, whatever the weather. 51st. The UAE government launched an international conference on artificial intelligence in the region called the Machine Scan 2023 Summit. 52nd. ISRO has announced a new space science and technology awareness training start. 53rd. A new Android malware called FluHorse has been discovered, targeting users in Eastern Asia with malicious apps that imitate legitimate versions. 54th. Astronomers have identified the biggest cosmic explosion ever observed, the giant ball of fire that has been affectionately nicknamed Scary Barbie. 55th. After 5 years, the Aeolus satellite shut down its science operations. 56th. Railway Protection Force launched Operation Satark to stop smuggling in trains. 57th. The ISRO will launch the NVS-01 navigation satellite on board. Its geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle. 58th. The ISRO is collaborating with the Raman Research Institute, Bengaluru, to build the X-ray of polarimeter satellite. 59th, Carlos Alcaraz won the men's singles Madrid Open title in tennis. 60th, India's artificial intelligence supercomputer Eravat has been ranked at number 75 top among 500 in the world at the International Supercomputing Conference in Germany. 61st, 4D printing is conventional 3D printing combined with the additional element of time as the fourth dimension. 4D printing is equal to 3D printing plus time. 62nd, the 162nd birth anniversary of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore was celebrated across the globe on May 7th. 63rd, India surpassed China as the world's most populous country, which led analysts to highlight the potential benefit of India's demographic dividend. 64th, Supreme Court stated that district judiciary's independence is a part of basic structure. 65th, India was ranked 161 out of 180 countries in the World Press Freedom Index 2023. Norway, Ireland, and Denmark occupied the top three positions. It is released by Paris-based Reporters Without Borders, one of the world's leading NGOs in defense and promotion of freedom of information. 66. World Press Freedom Day is celebrated on 3rd May. 67th. On May 11, 2023, India celebrated 25 years of Pokhran 2 nuclear tests. 68. India appealed against a ruling by the dispute settlement body at the World Trade Organization that India violated its zero tariff commitment under Information Technology Agreement. 69. Asian Development Bank launched a new country partnership strategy for India. 70th. Saudi Arabia hosted a special meeting of the National Security Advisors of India, the United States, and the United Arab Emirates. 71st. UN marked 75th years since displacement of 7 lakh Palestinians. 72nd. Recently, first ever Indian American Ajay Banga was appointed the World Bank president. 73rd. Amy Pope of USA set to become the first woman to head International Organization of Migration. 74. The Reserve Bank of India has issued an advisory to banks and other RBI regulated entities asking them to take steps to ensure a complete transition away from the London Interbank Offer Rate from July 1st. 75th. India is the world's second largest telecommunication market with 117 crore subscribers and 70 crore active internet users. 76. Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways launched Harit Sagar, the Green Port Guidelines 2023. 77th. According to the World Bank Logistics Performance Index 2023, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority has a turnaround time of just 22 hours, putting India amongst the top performers. 78. World Economic Forum released Future of Jobs Report 2023. 79. Iran launched the fourth generation of its liquid fueled of Khorramshahr ballistic missile named Khaibar. 80th. INSV Tarini returned to India after completing a transocean intercontinental voyage. 81st. Samudra Shakti 23. It is an India-Indonesia bilateral exercise. 82nd. Jal Rahat. It is a flood relief exercise that jointly conducted by Indian Army, Shastra Seema Bal, National and State Disaster Response Force, District Disaster Management Authority and police representatives at Hagrama Bridge on Manas River in Assam. 83rd Sudarshan Shakti 2023. It was conducted by Shapta Shakti Command of the Indian Army along the western borders in Rajasthan and Punjab. 84th Maritime Exercise Al Mohad Al Hindi 2023. The bilateral exercise Al Mohad Al Hindi 23 is between Indian Navy and Royal Saudi Naval Force. 85th. The Bureau of Energy Efficiency, along with the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, aims to develop the carbon credit trading scheme for decarbonization. 86th. National Tiger Conservation Authority formed Cheetah Project Steering Committee to keep watch on Cheetah Project. 87th. According to the Global Annual of Decadal Climate Update 2023-27 and the State of Global Climate 2022 by WMO, the global average temperature may rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2027. 88. Recently, a World Meteorological Organization study highlighted that Arctic warming is disproportionately high. 89. Ministry of Civil Aviation has announced that India will start participating in international civil aviation organizations carbon offsetting and reduction scheme for international aviation and long-term aspirational goals from 2027. 98. The Indian Astronomical Observatory in Ladakh successfully documented the occurrence of a rare aurora phenomenon for the very first time. 91st. World's second deepest blue hole is in Mexico. 92nd. Poshan Bhi Padhai Bhi scheme launched by Ministry of Women and Child Development. 93rd. The 1986 batch Karnataka cadre Indian Police Service Officer Praveen Sood has been appointed the head of the Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI). 94th. Indian Space Research Organisation is collaborating with Raman Research Institute Bengaluru to build the ExpoSat that will be launched later in 2023. Japan's iSpace said its attempt to make the first moon landing has failed after losing contact with its Hakuto R mission M1. 96. As per reports, a team of space scientists has discovered 62 new moons around Saturn. 97. Telangana has become the first state in the country to launch a state robotics framework with a vision to create a sustainable robotics ecosystem. 98. The World Health Organization has ended the global health emergency of Mpox. 99. Professor Jayant Vishnu Narikar gets first Astronomical Society of India Govind Swaroop Lifetime Achievement Award in Pune. And the last 100th, Honorable President of India Srimati Draupadi Murmu administered the oath of office to Shri P.K. Srivastav as Central Vigilance Commissioner on 29th May 2023 at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. So this was the 100 GK questions and the current topics for May 2023. So thank you for watching GK Key for Exam. Do please like, share and subscribe the channel for more GK content. Thank you.